An exciting day here at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center as the Vikings unveil their new general manager, Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. And it was a great day. Jon Krawczynski here from The Athletic. You were in attendance for the long-awaited press conference, I guess you could say. What did you learn new about the candidate himself?
I think it was just a great opportunity for us, Tatum, to see his personality. You talk about what the Vikings were looking for in a search, and I think they wanted a leader who could bring people together. Now, when you are trying to research all of these candidates, you can see their background, you can see what they've done on their resume and things like that. You don't really get a feel for the real person. And so that's what we saw with Kwesi today. I think he's a very kind of, easygoing person, but also very confident in his abilities. And I think you can understand in just the little snippet that we saw today what attracted the Vikings to him from a leadership kind of connectivity style, which is why they think he's going to be a great fit here.
How would you describe that style from what you heard today?
Yeah, I think that he looks like he's a guy who has very open doors, who wants to have input from all over the organization, who really wants to kind of breathe communication into this building right now. I do think that as the years went on in the previous regime, it got a little bit tight. There was a lot of pressure that was building, and I don't know that people necessarily always felt they had a voice in this operation from the top to the bottom. It looks like Kwesi Adofo-Mensah is going to come in and try to empower a lot of people, and he wants to have input from the very top of the organization, from the bottom, and really use all of that to make the decisions. He's still going to, at the end of the day, going to be the guy that makes a lot of the big decisions, but he wants to be collaborative. He wants to bring people into the process, and I think that will give people in this building who have been here a long time a great vibe and a feeling of inclusion that they were looking for.
This day and age in the NFL is very different from, say, 15 years ago when the Vikings made a general manager hire. So what do you think this move says about the direction this organization wants to go in?
People have described it as outside the box hire, right? With his background on Wall Street, with where he's kind of built. He's not a former NFL player who worked his way up through the scouting regime. And I think that there is a hunger in the league right now. There's a hunger in professional sports right now to look for alternative perspectives, alternative backgrounds, and see if they can bring things to the table that maybe your traditional dyed-in-the-wool football guy was missing back in the day. And now that you can have a lot of success with candidates like that, but I think with someone like Kwesi coming in and kind of bringing the variety of experiences to the table, it allows him to look at not only the game and the talent and the process, but really the whole decision-making apparatus in a different way. And so I think that with how long the previous regime was here, I think it was time for this organization to take a pretty abrupt turn and try something else to see if this kind of unique and fresh perspective can be the thing that maybe gets the Vikings from a very good, very respectable organization to one that can win a championship.
Speaking of championships, the first step to take in that process is obviously hiring a head coach. The dominoes are beginning to fall as we start to hit divisional weekends or conference championship weekends. So where do you see the search headed to next?
Well, so Kwesi Adofo-Mensah said that they're going to get right on the phone with candidates. They're going to try and start to really dive in, I think, to the process, because the Vikings have already interviewed 8 candidates for the position. And so they have laid some of the groundwork for that process, for picking the next head coach here. But I think now that they have their leader and their general manager in, they can really use him to see exactly what characteristics they're looking for in a coach. And so I anticipate that the initial field of 8 that they've talked to will be a little bit easier to kind of narrow down now, because now you know how that person might fit with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. And so I think that they will really kind of put their foot on the gas in that respect. Probably in the next week to 2 weeks is when they want to get that nailed down, depending on the availability of these coaches in the playoffs and things like that. But I think it does really help them refine their search now and really kind of narrow in on maybe 2 to 3 people that they really think would be the best for this job.
Yes, a very exciting time here in the Vikings organization. Thank you so much to The Athletic's Jon Krawczynski.
Thank you.